This is Dr. Michael Prince, and I have an exclusive interview with Interim head basketball coach for the Prairie A&M University Panthers, and that's none other than Coach Byron Smith. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well myself, Mike. And you?
I'm doing quite well, sir. I know it's an awkward situation and circumstances in which you come in, but congratulations for an opportunity for you to try and resurrect what's left of the Panthers program. Can you tell me how this unfolded from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, yeah, it was just a situation that we were obviously struggling a little bit, and I think just the morale, confidence maybe with the players, the team was a little bit down. It happens. I mean, like you say, it's a part of the sports, and it's part of what a lot of people go through. Coach Ram, was really, really good about it. I thought he did an excellent job. Obviously, he took the program from, I won't say nothing, but it was down when he took it. I think he did some good things there in the 10 years he was there and built it. But he was great about it. He just, kind of gave me a phone call, on Tuesday night and just said that, he thought it was in his best interest and everyone's best interest to, step away. And just kind of give me the opportunity to see, if I could just inject some life into the program. I think he was tired. He worked really hard. I think he was, just really, just kind of just worn down. He put so much into it, put his heart. We all do that as coaches. And so I just think he just was really worn down. And, me being in the second seat, probably thought that I had a pretty good idea, about what was going on and maybe, some of my ideas, a fresh perspective, may be able to, inject some life into the program. And obviously the AD, Asher Robinson, is, and Dr. Ray, our president, have shown a tremendous amount of, faith and confidence in me. And they felt like, that I was, next in line and someone they felt comfortable that may be able to get this thing going in a different direction.
Now, Coach, you've seen this program increase and possibly in some in viewpoint of others, they say may have flatlined to a certain degree. But this is your third year with the program.
Third year, Mike.
Yeah, third year with the program. What do you see that you could help inject that burst of energy and that refocusing that the team is going to need right now?
Well, I think, just a different, type of approach, to it. I think, Coach Brown, has a reputation, around our league and in our state as being a really efficient, and a really good offensive, coach. And, I think, my forte has been really working with post players, but more on the defensive side. And I think that's kind of where, we've been lacking, and I think we've been, able to, get shots and offense has been pretty free flowing. But I think if you've seen the Panthers play this year, we've had so many lapses in defense. And that's going to be my, my thought process is going to be, the area that we have attacked in the last 2 days of practice. We're going to continue to attack. And I think we're going to open our offense up a little bit. I think, sometimes, players, didn't have the confidence that maybe they needed to be able to do some things. So we're going to kind of open it up a little bit more, and we're going to be structured. But the biggest thing is really having more of a defensive-minded approach. And to be able to do that, Mike, you have to be in the best shape possible. And I just think, some of the players, probably didn't do all the things they needed to do, to be in the best shape possible, therefore making it a bit of a tough job, for Coach Ram. But my thought process is to kind of go it a little bit differently and, really, really stress to them the importance of being in excellent shape. And I think everything else falls into place. If you're in shape mentally and physically, I think everything else will fall into place. So, again, defense and just more about conditioning to try to get these guys kind of heading in a different direction.
The guys seem to be fading in the second half, and what I saw that was maybe his lack of strength and conditioning. And how do you plan to attack that, even with the weights? I know it's basketball season, but I'm thinking that maybe they do still need to hit the weights every now and then, at least twice a week.
Yeah, we've kind of gotten away from that. The scheduling, our strength and conditioning coaches, just really, I think he's just overwhelmed, for having so many different teams to work with. So, we've kind of gotten away from it. We really kind of put, a little bit of more of an emphasis on just focusing on practice and things like that. But my mindset, my thought process is we're going to get back to that, to spending more time in the weight room with Coach Dupree, from a stretch standpoint and the conditioning. Coach Byron Smith is going to take care of his conditioning part. I can assure you of that. I've been kind of around a little bit, and teams that I've been involved with in the past. That's one of the things that people have always known about teams that I've worked with is that they're not going to be the team that's going to wear down in the fourth quarter or the second half. They're going to be strong, and like over a period of time, I don't have a magic wand. I'm not saying that things are going to turn around overnight, but I think as we move forward, as we get more into the season and closer to March, I think you're going to see a different team in turn. And I don't think you will see some of those lapses, some of those breakdowns in the second half. And my goal is that we will get stronger and that we will be able to finish games somewhat close to the way that we started the game in terms of a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and just being able to finish. I think that's the one thing that the team has not been able to do is just finish the game, and that's my goal. And we've already started working on that. We had 2 excellent practices, on Wednesday and Thursday. We have already begun to attack the issues that we're speaking about right now, in terms of the conditioning and being in better shape, being sharper, moving faster, rebounding better, defending better. And as I told those guys, just trust me, and just give us a little bit of time. Not saying it's going to happen on Saturday night or on Monday night. Very tough Alabama road trip coming up, but give it a little bit of time, and it's going to kick in, and I think it'll be very pleasing, to the public eye, to the fans' eye, as we move forward with this season.
We're speaking with Coach Byron Smith. He's interim head coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Now, Coach, you may mention earlier in this interview that your specialty were the postmen and the conditioning, and I got to let it be known, and we've done it before, but what an outstanding track record you had with your latest and greatest project being Regis Onwakamuchi. You took a young man who was somewhat awkward when he first got to campus, but now due to working with him and him willing to put in the necessary work to become a better ball player, he's now got an opportunity to play overseas, and I believe last I checked is in the D-League for the NBA, get an opportunity to develop that. Now, I know you don't have, the Regis Onwakamuchis. They're diamonds in the rough as far as the work ethic and everything, just trusting you 100%. What is it that you see that the team will glean from you that they couldn't glean before?
Well, you know what, I think, it's just, the idea, and anytime, Mike, when you've had situations before, when you've had players, individual players, and my tree goes, really way back, with DeAndre Jordan and, some other players, that have gone on to do really well. I think, once players kind of find a little bit about your background and your history, and they look at said players and the young man at Baylor right now, Jonathan Motley, who's, one of the best big men in the Big 12. I think they look at that, and once they become aware that you've had something to do with their development, I think, there's a confidence that they have. That, hey, if he did it for him, he can do it for me. So I think it's almost like they're just kind of standing in line and saying, hey, coach, come on, work with me. I know what you did with this kid before, DeAndre Jordan, Jonathan Motley, now Regis Onwakamuchi. So I think it's just a strong belief that, I'm next, and, he can, some of what he had was work before will work with me. And Mike, to be honest with you, it's not just only with post players. I feel like, God has blessed me with an ability to be able to, touch any basketball player, any position. I was an all-conference, / all-American guard myself in college. So, obviously some of the skills that I had to reach the level that I reached, I think I can impart that with the guards as well. So, it's just the assignment that I have is work with post players. But I think it's just the overall basketball player that if I can get involved and spend some time with, and our players are willing to work, and they do put the time in, to work and get better individually. So I think it's just that connection, and also, I still run around and play a lot of basketball myself in various leagues. I try to keep myself in pretty good shape. So, every now and again, Mike, and it just works for me. I don't know if it works for anybody else. I will allow our players to be able to, watch me, shoot the basketball or play some 2-on-2 or go over to the rec and play some 3-on-3. So when they see that you still can do some of the things, I mean, not to the same level when you were in college or when you played overseas, but they can still see that you can do some of the things reasonably well that, that you used to. I think that brings a certain amount of respect and confidence and belief in their coach as well. So I know I just said a lot. I guess, just a straight answer is that, I think, individual player development is something that I've kind of been known to do at a mini level. And I've had some success at it. And I think if someone would ask you, describe the type of coach Byron Smith is, they'd probably say he's a guy, his strength is player development, which is everybody wants that, and that's something that's very valuable to any program. And to be honest with you, Mike, it's lacking in a lot of programs. It's more about just the system, getting players to buy into the system. But that's, sometimes that doesn't mean that the player is going to improve at his individual position. But we do have that in place at Prairie. They do know that they have a chance to improve and get better if they spend time working with us in terms of individual player development.
Well, Coach, you just summed it up. I did my show last week, and I talked about the art of coaching. And I said there are 3 factors that a coach must have in order to be successful. He has to be a motivator, has to be a mentor, and has to be a teacher. And those 2 things coming together, and then the parent has to support, and the student, athlete, has to execute. And with those 3 things working together, you're going to win more than you lose. I want to let you know that we've always supported you guys, and I want to extend congratulations. I know it's a awkward situation to get a chance like this, but as they say, the show must go on, and this is an opportunity. And let's be candid about it. This is an opportunity that you dream of being able to show that you can hold down the responsibilities of being a head coach. And what better time is this with 11 games left in the season?
No doubt about it, Mike. And kind of in closing, I share with you, one of the things that, I talked to the team about is that, it's a win-win situation. The beautiful thing about, basketball is that, coaches get a chance to help players develop as players, but also players give us an opportunity to grow at our craft and get better and improve as well. So it's a win-win situation. So one of the approaches that I take with my players is that, we help each other. We help each other. You're helping us. We're helping you. And, in my situation is like, hey, I'm like that guy that's on the end of the bench, just sitting there saying, hey, man, I hope Coach gives me a chance. Coach put me in the game. He's not going to regret it. Give me a chance, Coach. Give me a chance. And I share that with him as well. And again, this is an awkward situation. You never want to, come into a situation, under these circumstances, but, it's part of life. So, I'm sitting there at the end of the bench, on the bench saying, hey, you know what? Give me an opportunity. I'm going to show you what I can do. You won't regret it. And you know what? It looks like now, my prayers have been answered. And, Coach Rim has been 100% supportive, of it. And I talked to him on yesterday, and he told me he's counting on me and depending on me to see the players through and kind of get them over the hump. I was a good man for the job, and he wished me the best. So I can speak about this job very openly and very with a clear conscience that I don't feel any type of, animosity from Coach or anything like that, because he knows that, we were 100% bought in and supportive of him and did everything we could to help him be successful. But again, it's just one of those situations where the show must go on. I've been afforded the opportunity and the privilege of, leading the team, and I'm just excited and very, very thankful, to God that he's, called my number, for however long it is, Mike. If it's for 2 months remaining in the season, it's for the next 20 years, I'm thankful, and my situation, as I've shared with the people of the Houston Chronicle, is, don't give up on your dreams. You work hard. The biggest thing we can do, Mike, is be prepared. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to God that I am prepared, that I have been patient, but, and through times where you feel like maybe it's not going to happen, you still have to work and work at your craft. So, given this opportunity, Mike, I'm 100% confident that I will be able to handle any situation that comes my way. In terms of the X's and O's, in terms of motivating, in terms of managing egos, in terms of, making sure these kids are doing what they need to do on a daily basis, attending study hall, going to class, being respectful, how we travel, how they dress, how they carry themselves in hotels and restaurants, on the bus, on the airplane, in the airports, just so forth and so on. It's more than just on the court stuff. A lot of it's off the court stuff. So again, Mike, I feel very confident in my abilities, and I'm, again, so thankful to God that he's given me the opportunity to showcase my talents and my skills, and hopefully, it'll be something that'll be impressive to Prairie, and we can make this thing more of a marriage instead of just a courtship. But if not, you know what, maybe I can open someone else's eyes down the line and say, hey, this people like what he did, like what he stood for, like how he got the team going in a different direction. Hey, we like to get that guy over here. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it, Mike. And I'm just eternally grateful and thankful for the support, the administration and people like yourself who have always been very good to me and very supportive and very nice, and that goes a long way. So I'm in a good place right now, and just looking forward to the challenge.
Well, my friend, I tell you what, when opportunity knocks, we got to be prepared to answer it and go forward. We're wishing you nothing but the best of success, and I'll explain this and share this with you. People always say that people are lucky. They're lucky. And you spell luck, L-U-C-K. And that stands for labor under correct knowledge. When you labor under correct knowledge, you create all the luck that you need. And when we ask God for opportunities or for prayers, he gives us the opportunities. Here's your opportunity, my brother. Embrace it. Take it as far as you can go with it. And know that we here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network got your back.
I sure appreciate that, Mike. I really appreciate it.
All right, Coach Byron Smith, interim head basketball coach for the Prairie View A&M University's basketball team. Thank you again, Coach, and we'll be back to wrap things up.